Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to the main stage. Our presentation will begin shortly. Once again, please make your way to the main stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin. Please take your seats at the main stage. Please take your seats, which are limited, at the main stage.
Testing. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Testing, 1, 2. All right, if we can get everyone to come over to the seating area, we're going to get started. Huh? Testing, 1, 2. We can get everyone to make their way over to the seating area, or at least to the standing area next to the stage. I always feel guilty interrupting good conversation. That really is the reason why we're here. And so, apologies in advance. But we do run a tight ship here, and we have a time schedule. Who's controlling the timer here? Can someone put a 25-minute timer for me so I don't go over? I don't want to be in between Louisianans and their alcohol. That won't be me. And voila. All right, let's get us started. All right, good evening, everyone. My name's Tony Zanders. For those I haven't had the privilege meeting, I'm the president and CEO of Nexus Louisiana. And before I say anything else, I just want to sort of get a quick round of applause for everyone that made it here that's not from Baton Rouge. Oh, we can do better than that. We got a baseball whistle. That's what I need. So quick show of hands. How many came here just from across town, from Baton Rouge? Raise your hand. Okay, good number. How many came further than that? How many came from New Orleans, Lafayette, Ruston, Monroe? All right, round of applause. Round of applause. That's kind of what Nexus means, kind of be the meeting point. Like, boom-ch. I didn't make the name, I just inherited it. No, but genuinely, so grateful for everyone to come out tonight for our opening ceremonies of the inaugural Nexus Technology Cup. I inherited this role about 90 days ago and had a blank slate to try new things. One of the opportunities to try new things was with regard to our events. And in Louisiana, we love our events. We love festivals. We love parties. We're most famous for an event, Mardi Gras. And when it comes to us as nonprofits, it's no different. We create events for people to come together, to break bread, to build relationships, because that is the currency of Louisiana. But when we looked at the different types of events that took place across the state, there, in my estimation, started to get some redundancy, started to get sort of lack of creativity. And I thought there was an opportunity to do something new. And so I asked my team to think outside the box. If we have 60 days to try something new, what would it look like? And I gotta say, hats off to this group of people that rather than come up with all the reasons why we shouldn't think different, they just dove right in. Whiteboards, dry erase markers, sticky notes. And what you're experiencing over the course of this week is the result of that. This is the state's first statewide technology competition. This is an opportunity for people across the 64 parishes who are building things that are new and different to come and showcase their work. This isn't about ideas, this is about actual products. And I want to just sort of give a round of applause to all the people that made it this far. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there. So natural for us to be afraid to share our ideas. How many of you have ever had an idea and you're like, I don't want to tell anybody because I'm afraid they're going to steal it? That's typically how we work. But the folks you're going to see this week, they're not afraid. They have courage, they're bold, and they actually have the fortitude to actually go from idea to actually having built something. And so tomorrow you're going to see actual demonstrations of software products, hardware products that have been built. We don't have to speculate on how it looks or how it works. We're going to be able to evaluate the actual tool that was built. And same thing on Thursday. from the open track, which is professionals and startups that may have gotten funding or not, but the same idea. And the result of this week's event will be a baton pass that for these other events that are really about investing and raising funds, everyone this week are candidates for that event. Because you're going to see folks and encourage them that say, hey, you're working on something really important. You might want to consider turning that into a business, because I would consider investing in it, right? And so that's why in the audience, we don't just have people who are random, excited groupies about tech. Everyone here can actually help these finalists go to that next step, whether that's writing them an investment check, whether that's helping them find a co-founder. And so each of you that's here has been handpicked to help these folks moving forward. And so this week is a contact sport. This is not about standing around against the wall, just enjoying the food and drink. If you're inspired by someone up here that's doing something cool and interesting, I want you to give them a word of encouragement. I want you to help make them realize, hey, here's where you can go from here. Or I work for this organization. Here's how I can help you. I work at this type of institution, right? Everyone's involved, because that's really how Louisiana needs to compete against Houston, Atlanta, and all the other markets out there, okay? So everyone has a role this week, all right? So this set of remarks I'm making is really twofold. One is to introduce you to this event, but second is to sort of take a moment to reflect, because Nexus has been around for over 30 years. That's a really established organization. But right now, we're at a moment of transition that doesn't just involve the team and our organization. It also involves things like the building we're in, our programming, even the members that are a part of our organization that have graduated, that have gone beyond incubation. And so before we just sort of rush into what's coming next for us, we want to take a moment to look back, express some gratitude for everyone that worked so diligently to get us to where we are today. And so I want to recognize a few different groups of people. And so I'm going to call on a different group in a few moments, and I want you to get ready to come up to the stage and join me for a set of remarks, all right? And so the first group I want to recognize that we wouldn't be here without today. And I don't just say that figuratively, I mean that literally. Like Nexus is, we don't have a product that you can touch and feel like a nice iPhone, and you can hold that device and say, wow, that's a high quality device. So therefore that company that made it must be high quality. We don't have that. Our product is the entrepreneurs that we create, is the people we coach to help build their companies. And so in order to understand the work we do, you have to see the people that we work with, right? And so that first group that I want to recognize are Nexus members and Nexus alumni. If you have incubated with us, if you're currently or previously, I want you to join me on the stage. Let's go, Teddy. Let's go, Cody, Craig, James, Randall. These are my OGs. New school, Jordan, let's go. Brandon, let's go. Anybody that has been a member of Nexus and you wear that badge with pride, and a lot of folks around the parishes across the state may not recognize all the hard work you're doing, I want you to join me now. And I think that may be all we have. Let's go, Kellen. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, join me in giving a round of applause for our Nexus members. We wouldn't be here today without these folks. And again, I don't say that figuratively, I mean that literally. Because during the pandemic, everyone had to make a decision. Am I going to continue to show up to a physical office space to work, to build, to network? Or am I going to stay home? Am I going to lose that community? Am I going to lose that glue that builds something special? These folks here decided, no, what happens at 7117 Florida Boulevard is too important for me to lose. It's convenient for me to stay in my apartment or my house and just type on my computer, but I need that community. I want to be a part of something that's more than me. And these folks represent that. There are many more who couldn't make it tonight, but we want to recognize you and show you some appreciation. And so Paul, I think, beat me to the punch, but he typically does. What was just handed to them very inconspicuously was a lapel pin. And this lapel pin that I'm wearing is one of the first symbols of this new Nexus chapter we're entering into. It's, if for those who in the front row can see, it's the state of Louisiana, but it's rethought of as a microchip. And so each of the parishes are connected not by interstates, but by nodes on a microchip. And the heart of that microchip, selfishly, is Baton Rouge. And this lapel pin is something that we created, we designed, we invented for members of our community. And so it's a small token of our appreciation that when you go to the various places that your work takes you, you can help represent us and show some gratitude for the things we've given to you. And so I just want to say from a deep level, thank you so much for believing in us and our team. And again, without you, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Teddy. And some of them will be competing this week, not all. Some of them are past sort of competitions. That's just beneath them. But some of us are going to be competing, and so you will see some Nexus folks showcasing their tech. And so this won't be the last you've heard of them. But thanks again, everyone. Okay, we'll fix that. So that wasn't for the winners. That was a showcase. We have separate medals for the winners. All right. So the next group that I want to recognize is not looking backwards, right? Because again, literally wouldn't be here if it weren't for folks believing in us every day. But organizations don't have lifeblood unless you can look forward and think about what's next. And this event really is about figuring out what do the next 5 years look like, not just for our organization, but for technology in Louisiana. And the Technology Cup was a bold ask. We took a big risk putting out an announcement saying, hey, if we were to gather people that we've never met before, who are building things in their own universities or in their different parishes, wherever they're from, would they come to an event that we hosted? Would they be courageous enough to share what they're working on, even if it's half-baked, even if it's not 100%? And looking back, as of this moment, the answer was yes. And without you, we wouldn't have a future. And so the second group I want to recognize are our finalists. There's going to be a much bigger group. And so if you are a finalist in the Tech Cup, which means you are the top 20 of the 84 companies and products that were submitted, I want you and your teams to come to the stage. And we're going to need a few moments for this because it is a large group. And so our taller buddies, if you can get to the back. Paul, you need to start handing out, yep. And as this cohort is coming forth, I want you to pay attention to a few things. Because in having worked in technology for over 20 years, I can tell you that this group of folks that are building technology doesn't look like what you would expect when you think about tech. And as we were reviewing the applications and we were going through their demonstrations, we had a lot of tough choices to make. It winded up being just this beautiful coincidence that the group of folks that are building interesting hardware and software in our state is actually a reflection of the demographics of Louisiana. This isn't our grandmother's Louisiana. This is a state that takes pride in diversity, takes pride in different people from different backgrounds, different geographies, different ages, different languages. And it's always been that way. When I learned about Louisiana history and how we started back 1709, you had Germans and Spanish and French all coming together, creating something new and different. Well, what you're looking at here is the 21st century version of that. And technology is going to be the vehicle that helps us realize our potential. And so before I say anything else, please join me in giving a round of applause for our finalists. And so Paul probably beat me to the punch. Hopefully you receive your Nexus lapel pin. And I know you all are mentally preparing for some rigorous competition. Tomorrow you won't be friends, but today you are. Tomorrow we will have winners and losers, but tonight we don't. And so I just want to say thank you from myself, from my team, from our board, from everyone for, again, having the courage to showcase what you're working on. We don't take that lightly, because it's very easy to just be shy and just hide what it is you're building. And so I just want to say we appreciate you, and the best of luck to each of you this week. All right, if we've gotten the group photo, you can now please exit whenever you're ready. So excited to see everyone finally come in from so many different places, as far as Monroe and Shreveport, New Orleans, Lafayette, Thibodaux, obviously Baton Rouge, LaPlace. Shout out to LaPlace. So the final group I want to thank tonight is one that really supports me, and this is a selfish group of thanks. As a nonprofit, you are really relying upon your governance and your board to help you and to make sure that you're viable. In the past few years at Nexus have been challenging, not just for us, but for many nonprofits, not just here in Baton Rouge, but across the country, both politically, economically. And when I joined 3 months ago, I was received by a group of people that were very eager, very sort of excited about the future for what was next. And so if we have folks here from the Nexus board, I want you to come up to the stage, please. Hey, Anita. Not just current board. Who has served on the board? I'm looking at you, Tedra. Let's go. Let's go. Because your board term does expire, and you have to pass on the torch. Yep. And who else? Is anyone else here? Okay. So I haven't had the opportunity to tell you thank you. It's been a whirlwind over the past 90 days. But I wouldn't be able to do this work without you. This is my first time ever working for a nonprofit. And so every month I'm learning new things, and each of you have been gracious with me and saying, hey, Tony, no, it actually doesn't work like that. You actually have to do it this way. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. But the past few years, we wouldn't be able to be here tonight at this event without this group of people. And again, I mean that quite literally. These are volunteers. These are normal citizens that could be doing so many more things with their time, with their energy, but they're committed not just to our organization, they're committed to Baton Rouge and Louisiana. And they prove it every day when they respond to emails, when they show up to meetings. Again, they're not paid to do this, right? And so I just want to, they're not paid to do this. So for anyone who thinks they're paid to do this, they're not. They're doing it literally because they believe in our future and our potential. And so if you were reserving some emphasis in your round of applause, I want you to give it all to them right now. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you so much. I got two Anitas, by the way.
There's never two.
Anita and Anita, thanks so much, Stephanie and Tedra. Tedra sent me the kindest note when I joined. Never met her before, but just the reception over the past few months has been amazing, and I can't say thank you enough. And so, thank you. Yep. Yep. All right, so I'm just at the 6-minute mark here, according to my confidence monitor, and this next thanks is unorthodox, but there was one person over the past 90 days that pulled my coat and said, hey, I want to make sure that you understand how all of this works, because it's not intuitive, especially with this organization. And that person is Charles Landry. Charles, come up. So Charles is the general counsel at Nexus. Charles is also, come on. Charles is also the historian for the Research Park Corporation. So Research Park Corporation was the entity back in 1992. 91. So I'm going to age you a bit.
Yeah.
So y'all, I was 5 years old. When I was 5, you had a group of people, a group of legislators here in our state capitol come together, and they said, we need to create a new entity that's not the same as the government, but works with the government. It's not the same as LSU, but it works with LSU. It's not the same as Southern, but it works with Southern. Solely focused on this new idea around creating technology. And that was pretty forward thinking back then. But it wasn't this simple thing where someone could sign a pen and just say, hey, let's make it happen. There had to be a lot of parts and chess pieces to be moved, and most of them were moved by the person you're looking at here, Charles Landry. And so when I joined a few months ago, I was handed this binder, like a physical binder. How many of you still have binders? But they come in handy, especially when it's like 300 pages. This binder was the history of Research Park Corporation. And it said, hey, before you take a meeting, before you go forward, I need you to flip through this, I need you to read this, and you're going to learn about each of the presidents. You're going to learn about the real estate. You're going to learn about the different legislation that was passed, sort of what the focus was, and the potential opportunities we didn't pursue. And it honestly gave me a level of confidence to embark on this new leadership opportunity that I did not have when I signed the paper. And the fact that you are still so passionate about Research Park Corporation, which is now Nexus, but Charles always connected me, look, it's RPC, man. You can call it Nexus, but it's really RPC. I just want to say thank you. And you know, I want to literally do something that people figuratively talk about. But you deserve these, Charles.
Thank you.
So please. So when I called Harriman's, I said, hey, I'm not a flowers guy, but I have a special task here. And my wife is here. Ashley, say hi. Ashley can say, I am lucky. I don't know much about flowers, but I said, hey, I kind of have a hard assignment because I want to give flowers to someone that has the most amazing pocket squares. Like every time I see him, I'm just trying to keep up with you, Charles. And so they said, say less, we got you, Tony. And so, Charles, please enjoy your flowers. We appreciate you.
All right, give me the microphone. There's a minute 43, and I'm going to take 15 seconds. I want every finalist to raise their hand. I want every finalist who was alive in 1991 to keep their hand up? All right? All right. In 1991, Austin, Texas had 450,000 people. Baton Rouge had 250,000. We had a mayor who was from Zachary, Louisiana, that ran the bus system for our public school system and had the amazing, it was his idea. He kept hearing about technology to create this organization. And we have lost so many opportunities with it. I've seen every board. I've seen every CEO. I've seen every person who has tried to help. I've seen people who have tried to hurt. But I can tell you without any question that this gentleman, Tony Zander, is going to move us a decade for every year that we've lost. And I will tell you, I could not be more enthusiastic about the leadership that we have. And these board members who are up here, they need triple applause because they found Tony and convinced, and his wife saying yes. And I know the story. I know the story because she's the one that Tony's up here. I know that. So we all owe a standing ovation. Don't do it because I want 0 for Tony Zander and his leadership. To think that we can do this in 90 days is impossible. So for you and your staff, thank you. We're going to make Baton Rouge and the state a much better place with your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. It's just a little dusty in here, y'all. That's all. Can we get some dust spray? I have one final thanks, and this is equally special. Just 45 days ago, it was kind of a crazy thought, and I'm sitting with my team, and I knew that personally. I'm not an event planner. I don't have that love language, because it is a love language. But the person that I had to ask to take on this work, to bring something to life that has never happened before, is Natisha Nat. Natisha, please join me. So, Natisha, I first met Natisha at a Brew event. Hey, shout out to Brew. Shout out to Brew. Shout out to Baton Rouge Entrepreneurship Week. I first met Natisha at a Brew event 3 years ago. Yes. 3 years ago. And I remember thinking this was one of the most beautiful events I had ever attended. The detail, the programming. I met a pretty inspiring entrepreneur there who gave a keynote. And it was so inspiring, I left that event and I went and bought a pair of his jeans. Because he made jeans using like an AI app. So you can like take a picture of your body and it like made the jeans. And I met that guy at Brew. And so I knew that fast forward, to 2025, that if anyone could pull off something in 90 days, it was Natisha. That is what it was. But I had a CEO that I used to work for who told me, if you believe in someone, you push them just a little bit to an area where they're just a little uncomfortable. And you're going to be gratified when you watch them grow into that next level that they hadn't experienced before, and then we're all going to be better for it. And I believed in you. And I want to say thank you. Because without you, we wouldn't be here today. And so finalists, y'all need to you just need to shout her down. Shout her down right now. Because without Natisha, we wouldn't be here, guys. And so, again, tonight is about celebration. It's about recognizing all the people who got us here. And the reason we're over-indexing on the touchy-feely is because tomorrow it's going down. And so, thank you, Natisha.
Thank you.
And that's all I got. And so, I appreciate y'all. May the best win.